Chad, you mind to let's call the meeting to order. Chad, you mind to do the roll call?
Yes, sir, Judge. Mr. Elder.
Here.
Mr. Kirkland. Mr. Bishop.
Here.
Mr. Fogle.
Here.
Mr. Quaid. You have a quorum, Judge.
All right. The first item on the agenda is consider approval of minutes of previous meeting held Thursday, March 21st.
Motion.
And the jail committee meeting held March 21st, 2019.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Elder.
Yes.
Mr. Bishop.
Yes.
Fogle. Unanimous.
All right. The second item, Mr. Elmore, is he coming?
Mr. Elmore's not here, but Ms. Aaron Summers.
Okay. Ms. Aaron Summers with Marion County High School, HR Director, is that correct?
Youth Services.
Youth Service Center, okay. It's here to promote the mock accident being planned at Marion County High School. If you'd like to have the floor. And Mr. Bette Riggs is here with us.
So it's been, I'm Aaron Summers, I'm the Youth Service Center Coordinator. You all probably remember Dee Dee Saccone, so I'm the new Dee Dee still. A lot of big shoes to fill. So this year we have decided, Jeanette had reached out to me and Ms. Jennifer Ford had reached out to me several months back. We're going to do a mock crash at the high school this year. This is the first for me, so I'm new to all of this, but I know that several years back this had been done before. We've been meeting for 3 or 4 months now, so we've got a lot of community partners that have been helping out. We've got that scheduled for April 19th. So before we do that, on the 19th, we're actually going to host a parent night at the high school on April 18th at 6 o'clock. And what we're promoting this as is 4 C's. So it's going to be, make sure I get this right, it's communication, choices, consequences, and community. So we've got several different people that are going to speak on each topic and how they all tie in. The biggest thing, we've had several vehicle accidents last year that resulted in the loss of several of our teenagers in this community. Everyone has been impacted in some way by that, and we have got to raise awareness to these kids. Not so much as just focusing on drugs and alcohol, but just distracted driving in general, because phones are a major problem. So that's kind of what we're focusing on with this. We do have some of our law enforcement is going to come on for the parent night. They're going to speak on some of the consequences. Jennifer is actually going to talk to our kids that morning. We are going to bus the ninth graders up from the Night Academy, so they're also going to be able to attend this. Because you all know a lot of our ninth graders are in the vehicles with some of our new drivers. So this affects them as much as it does any of our high school kids. So they're going to come up that morning. We're going to start with Miss Ford talking to all of them in the gym, and then we're going to move out to, we're going to be on the hill where the flagpole is at, where the technology center, right? That's what we decided. And the scene is actually going to be set up on Knight's Way there. So the reenactment will probably be 45 minutes. Is that about right? So once that happens, we're going to bring students back into the gym, just kind of as a Q&A kind of thing. Ms. Ford is still going to remain there. We are going to send opt-out letters home to students so that they do have the option to not participate if they don't want to. We want this to have a positive impact. We don't want anybody triggered by this. So if they just feel like they cannot participate, we're not going to force them to do that. And that's going to be totally up to the parents. And we are going to have additional therapists on site that day, just because it is such a sensitive thing. We want to make sure that we've got our mental health people there, staff, so that if anybody does need to talk to somebody, we've got that resource there available. Am I missing anything?
We just want support from our community, just to be involved with just everything.
Yes, absolutely.
Try to help get the word out to each parent, because it's very important that they come to this meeting on that Thursday night. So, because we don't have a lot of parent support when she has meetings and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, parent nights are tough, and I get it. I mean, I've got 2 teenagers too, and sometimes I just don't make it to after school stuff. There's a lot of other things going on, or when you get off work, you want to go home. I get it. I am going to have food. Sometimes that brings people in. You don't have to cook that night. Just come. It's going to be very informative, and ultimately it's for, just support our kids, and let's raise awareness. Let's
I think ADP was going to be there that night too. So there's a couple other parents who have lost their children that are going to be at this meeting, just to kind of show the impact that it has. And if we just touch one child and make a difference, you know, I feel like we've done something. So, yeah.
Are the schools gonna do a one call? Because I know a lot of times they don't always do one calls, and I think that makes a difference. And if they do it a couple of nights before, not the day of, before you leave for work, that would make a difference.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, but you mean for the parent meeting, is that what you're talking about?
And what time is it that night?
6 o'clock on the 18th. That week also, I don't know if you all have heard about the Checkpoints program that we're doing with the health department for our new drivers. That is a parent-student program. That is also that same week. All of this stuff just happened to fall on the same week. So that's actually the 16th. So that'll be advertised as well. So it all kind of ties in though together.
And the checkpoint is for permanent.
Yeah, they have to have a permit, their intermediate, or they can have their graduated driver's license. Yeah, and that's sponsored, we actually give out gift cards to those students, like a $15 gas card, and that's sponsored by the Heartland Coalition. Does anybody have any questions?
It's open to the public, is that
It
correct?
is.
Okay, great.
Yeah, the meetings, but
Not the event.
We don't want everybody at the high school that Friday morning.
No, I understand.
That's just for students. We don't want parents to, because I had a couple parents message me, well, can we come that Friday morning? I'm like, no.
No.
It's just for students. We can't have, the public come in for that. It'd just be too chaos.
Gotcha.
Because there's 900 some students.
Yes.
So we will be doing a one-time, Jennifer will be talking to all the kids at one time, and then we're going to be moving them all outside. So it's just going to be a crazy mess as it is. So.
Well, I think it's great you guys are doing that.
Yeah, I want to
very
thank
much.
you all for
Yeah.
doing that, because it has affected so many families in our community and things, and our law enforcement, first responders, everybody that's helping out with this, so.
Yeah, I think we talked with Robbie and Troy. We figured it's probably about 9 years since we've done something like this at the hospital. It's been too long. We're thinking at least 8 or 9 years. This is,
Yeah, and we're definitely not gonna.
this is not going to be something that's going to be dropped now. We have new people in the school, and Aaron and Mr. Elmore have been amazing to work with. They're on board, gung-ho about everything. So hopefully every 2 years, this is something that we can continue with.
Well, there's a Go Scout program too, and it's a little bit different than this. So what I plan to do is kind of alternate. We'll do one program one year, and then we'll do the other the next year, and then we'll wait until we have a new group of kids at the school.
Yeah.
So that's what the plan is right now. So, yeah. But if anybody has any questions, feel free to give me a call at the school. I'm there all the time. So thank you all.
All right, thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Javette.
Appreciate it. The next item on the agenda, Lisa, if you want to be the spokesman for the Autism Awareness Month.
Well, just to let everybody know, April is National Autism Awareness Month. There are a lot of individuals in Marion County that are affected by autism. They say the statistics are now 1 in 68 individuals are affected or are on the autism spectrum. So Working the Puzzle for Autism is having their walk at the Craig Memorial Park on April the 20th. I know that is Easter weekend, but they will be inviting everyone to attend that walk. If it rains, it'll be at Marion County High School. But just hoping that the community will recognize this month as April being Autism Awareness Month here in the community. So,
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 4, consider approval to surplus items from the Sheriff's Department. Jimmy's provided a list of some things. Jimmy, you want to comment on this? And do you want to comment on why you're getting rid of this stuff? And
Well, since we've moved into this building in 06, I believe, some of the stuff that we had from over the years with old cars, such as some of the old security screens that come out of the old Crown Vics, they're down in the basement and they're just taking up space and collecting dust. And there's not a need that I know of from other agencies wanting them, so I just thought when we get the court to approve, or we can either take it out to the scrap yard and see what we can get for that, turn the money to the court. In addition, what I put on the note there was some old radios that are obsolete, and just a lot of metal brackets. So again, it's just stuff that's kind of taking up space. I did want to, if the court approve, reach out to some other sheriff's offices, see if there is someone out there that may have a need, because some agencies are, believe it or not, even smaller than mine, and they have struggled getting equipment sometimes. So if they need that, and you guys again approve that, I would like to either donate it or sell it to them at a discounted rate if we could find something like that.
Motion to approve, but instead of the money come back to the court, would the court be willing to let the money go back to the sheriff's drug fund? Okay. So motion to approve with the money to be allocated to the sheriff's drug fund.
Second.
And one little add-on to that, as I've been going through the office and some of the storage spots that we have, I found some other items, and actually we've got 4 old laptops. These things are well over 15 years old. They've been sitting for a while. Again, nothing we could do. It'd probably cost more to get them updated and back on track, or we could go out and probably buy them just as cheap somewhere else. So those are in addition to those items there.
Okay.
Good.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Mr. Yoder?
Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Item number 5 is the open bids for the rescue squad truck that we put out. I think I missed a week to advertise. Troy, if you want to come up here and open this bid, if you don't mind. Yeah. We've only got one bid, and it's from Southeast Apparatus.
There's be a lot of choices, don't there? Yeah.
I will go read here.
You need some glasses.
Same glasses, what I got Chris here. So it's
131,850 is what they've, according to this proposal, so I guess we need to let you guys go
Yeah,
through
I'll probably
this.
pack it, payment schedule if you want
Okay.
to do it today.
Probably just review that and then, at the next meeting, we'll
Yeah,
take a
just
look.
review that. If you
Yeah.
approve it, bring it back to the judge and
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
payment schedule,
Yep.
we'll make a motion from there.
Yeah, good
Thank
deal.
you.
Thank you, Troy.
Thanks.
Just the one bid? Yes.
That's all we had. One
Yep.
bid. Item number 6, consider approval to advertise for sanitation employee position.
Motion.
Second. Mr. Yoder?
Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Unanimous?
Item number 7 is consider approval to assist Washington County Fiscal Court with dead animal removal for 30 days.
Motion.
Second. Is that you, Craig?
Yeah.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Yoder?
Yes.
Unanimous?
Item number 9, consider approval of budget transfer to EMS for $30,000.
Second.
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Yoder?
Yes.
Unanimous?
Item number 9, consider approval for Braversville cleanup for the week of April 22nd through the 27th.
They'll actually take it,
Actually, they bring it to us, right?
they bring it to the landfill, or do y'all set up out at Braversville?
Yeah, they bring it to the transfer station.
Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Yoder?
Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Unanimous?
Item number 10, consider approval to hire Christopher Young to full-time position at the detention center.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Yoder?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Unanimous?
Item number 11, consider approval to purchase a lift for use at the detention center for $1,500.
That's the one you talking about,
We're having a lot of issues. The lights at the Judicial Center are getting where they need to be replaced, and it's not, that building design totally different than this one. Everything to do with there's high, it's tall. So they requested, rather than working off a ladder, to use what's called a single man lift. They're a lot safer. It's portable enough to get through the doorways. It really works great for that. They've used one, they've rented one a couple times, and it worked a lot safer, and I think it's a good thing to do.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Yes, I'll go on and prove, yeah. Judge, do they have to, do you get any kind of harness training on it?
It comes with the harness, and I feel sure that it does, yeah. Probably needs some training.
It's always a big issue
Yeah.
anymore. 4 foot, you gotta be tied off.
Exactly. I'll make sure that we get that done.
Yeah, whoever we purchase it from provides training, so they will cover it. Good.
Department reports. Jimmy?
Got a couple things here I need to order tiles, put back in stock, 36, $165.70. Need to order some cars. That is $3,250.44, a total of $69,1614.
Need a motion on that part?
Yeah, motion, second.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Bowles? Unanimous.
That's all you're asking today to
That's
spend?
all the money I'm asking.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll just check it.
Oh, you don't need the $600 for the 2,4-D?
No,
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I saw that down
I looked at
there.
it all on one
I've
time.
done about that.
Okay.
The Division of Water permits come in that we had out, and we're gonna start on them. We're gonna start on them in the morning. That's gonna be a pretty good project, and we have started spraying the 2,4-D. It's gonna take us a couple of weeks, depending on the weather, to get that done around the county. We've been trying to prep some of these roads. I think we're doing blacktop, and whenever we get time, all of us need to get together, and that list, I know we can't do that whole list. We're gonna get together and break it down.
Yeah, on the road list real quick, there's a couple of roads in Falcon Crest that actually, are you aware of it, Judge, that?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not county roads, yeah.
So I guess we, if you don't mind, if we could get together and try to figure out what we need to do or where we need to go in direction to the original property owner or whomever it was to get that resolved, because those roads are starting to fall apart. So,
Yeah.
and obviously, I don't think we can go in there and fix them until they're obviously accepted. So, but if we get that, and then also in regards to the district, as we move toward in road funding, right now currently, and I think Jimmy would agree, most of all the roads in my district are in good shape, but I've got a couple of projects that will need to be done next year. They're going to cost some extra money. So I've done this before. What I'd like to do is the funds that we receive for my district is to hold those over till next year so we can apply those toward those larger projects so we can get them done. So, okay.
Like I say, all of us get together, everybody gets time, we just get together.
Yeah.
I went to
Yeah.
a transportation meeting last week in E-Town, and we applied for some discretionary funding last year and didn't get, so she basically told me to resubmit. There could be a potential that we would get some, especially if they raise the gas tax. I know we might have an opportunity to get some of it, but we're going to have to do something because that funds, the state roads are all getting in bad shape.
Very bad shape.
It's just, I don't know what's going on, but it's
Yeah. Technically, the county roads are in
The
better
county
shape.
roads
county roads are in a lot
shape.
better shape, but
Lot better.
yeah, so. We did also meet with FEMA a couple weeks ago, me and Jimmy did, and it's a long, slow process. Laurie met with us as well, but they have looked at all the slide areas that we had, and it sounds like they might be able to help us too, so.
That'd be good.
Another thing that they got coming up is the Bridging Kentucky program, which there's some bridges that we had on the list that they say they're going to do for us. So we can use our 80/20 for something else.
Good.
So it's some funding opportunities are out there. We just got to apply for them, basically what they told us.
If we can get them, we get it, because it's hard to get in.
It is very difficult.
y'all.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Keith, he's not here tonight. Sergeant Mann.
Joe couldn't be here today, but there's a few things we need to address. We have a new hire class starting Monday at 8 a.m. If anyone wants to come and we'll call it meet and greet. The reason we're having the new hire class is we've had 3 staff members within the last 3 weeks, medical reasons, call quits. And unfortunately, those 3 staff members were vital to the road pickup. One was Jared Lee, one was Al Spalding, one of them's Newton Luckett, who had bypass some stuff going on there. So we do have 7 part-time 20 or 25-hour employees going to start Monday morning. 40 hours of classroom and 80 hours of on-the-job training. We'll put them on the road and get caught back up with garbage on the side of the roads. And the second thing is the jailer has sent a proposal in front of the Secretary of Justice on a pilot program for the well enhancement program. And we're trying to increase a little bit more revenue. We haven't heard anything back yet on that.
Can do.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Robbie?
I have a quote there from Josh Ballard for a computer because one of my offices it shuts off and gives you the blue screen of death about twice a week. So that's for $13.99.
Motion.
Second. Mr. Yoder?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Unanimous?
Other than that, I have the reports for you all for the month of March. We made 214 calls of service for the month. For the year from January 1 to today, there was 682 calls. I'd also like to, one of our full-time paramedics resigned their position. We posted it in-house and didn't have any of our part-time people interested in it. We need to advertise for a full-time paramedic.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Yoder?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes.
Unanimous?
How's the new ambulance doing?
They seem like it pretty well. I'm never in them, so.
Greg, how's the new ambulance?
Oh, that's great.
Like it?
Handle pretty good and hold what with all the equipment and everything.
Pick up truck.
Yeah.
Good deal. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Robbie.
Laurie?
I don't have anything new, but as a follow-up to the discussion we had about sirens, our counterpart in Frankfurt has been on vacation. So she'll be back next week, and hopefully we can move forward and put the numbers together and see what funds are available.
I had 2 more calls this week on sirens, and the one let me know that it was this week, I think yesterday, in 74 when that big tornado outbreak was. It was this week, that many years ago. But there's a lot of people asking about them. So, and I meant to call Alex and check on these others if he'd ever checked them, but I didn't. I forgot to before the meeting.
Thank you, Laurie.
Thanks.
Gary, you got anything? No. Okay, thanks, sir. Animal shelter, Kay's not here right now.
She broke a tooth, so she
Yeah, that's
had
what she told me. She said that.
everything seems to be going well,
As
though.
far as I know, everything's okay out there. John, you know any different?
No, she said everything's going good. There is, I think she's going to, next meeting, I think she's going to talk about getting a tagger. I think it's like $519 for the animals and so forth, which gives them a much better record-keeping standpoint, so just to give you a heads up.
Good deal. And Terry?
The Career Center, our office traffic was 296. With the job fairs that we put on, or we worked, or we set up, we had a total of 428 with the Washington County Job Fair, and also with TG, and also MCI, and also counting the youth fair with the Air Technology Center, it's close to 1,378. So that's one thing about the Career Center that we're trying to do is reach out as much as we can outside the Career Center and inside to recruit our youth
That's awesome.
and adults. We're in the schools constantly. I'm getting ready to do 2 days in Marion County for all seniors to get them ready for the workforce or training or college or 2-year short-term training. We also have out-of-school youth work experience program that's getting ready to start, and they hired Gail King for the position. She's going to recruit the youth to bring them in our office to get them ready for the work experience program. And that's going to be in Marion, Washington County, that Gail King will be doing. And that's through the Lincoln Trail and Lake Cumberland Area Development District with WIOA funds, Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act funds. We pay the money, their hourly wage for up to 200 some hours of the Lincoln Trail and Lake Cumberland Wheel to pay for their hourly wages. And then hopefully the company will hire them full-time. So if anybody wants to try this program with our youth, it will be 18 to 24-year-olds. And we pay the wages in the development districts.
And that's open, there's no qualifications in regards to what?
There is qualifications,
Okay.
of course.
Yeah, that's just make sure.
It's income-based, and they look at barriers too,
Okay.
with the youth and things like that.
Gotcha, okay.
Also, we're getting ready to put on the expungement session, and that's on Monday, April the 15th. We've got great responses. We have a lot of people that are interested. So if you know anybody, make sure they come to the Career Center April the 15th. It's 3 to 6. And we're also going to be doing a resource fair with Washington County Family Resource Center, Youth Service Center. It's 5 to 7. We're trying to get parents involved also, that have barriers or economically disadvantaged to get back in the workforce. I have several employers that will be attending. It's kind of like a career employment job fair. We're doing that also. And then we're having Boone's Farm, Central Kentucky Grain job fair on April 24th, and Toy Tommy's job fair will be April 25th. So we've been pretty busy with job fairs and workshops right now.
Awesome.
Does anybody have any questions?
Sounds like you're busy.
Yeah.
Very
We're
busy.
really busy, and like I said, if we didn't have 3 staff in our office, we couldn't recruit out of our office too. So really, I want to thank the magistrates, Judge Doherty, and the city, Marion and Washington County Treasurer for our support in our office. Thank you.
Appreciate all your work.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Terry.
I'm going to go ahead and jump down to old business and new business before we go into executive session. Item A is to consider approval to stripe parking lot at Fairgrounds. Estimated cost, Jimmy and myself met with, what's the name of that guy we met last Monday?
Long,
Keith Long with,
thank you, don't hold me to that, I'm pretty sure.
he went out there and measured it and looked at it and had a good layout. The whole front part will be handicap parking. I know a couple of weeks ago they had a huge soccer day and people parked a little bit every which way and caused some people to get blocked in and delayed. So the city wanted to go ahead and put a top coat on the parking lot, and Jimmy and myself met with this gentleman, and the condition of that parking lot now is in such good shape that he recommended that we didn't have to do that at this time. So and that's another $50,000. So we can spend $2,100 and have it striped, and it could possibly last a long time. So
It's not
So what you're-
utilized every day, so.
So what you're saying is $2,100 for the striping
yeah,
or $50,000 for the top coat?
And probably 50,000 per part.
that was their part. Our part would have been
It'd come up 50,000,
yeah,
About 100,000.
It was $100,000?
I'm pretty sure.
to do the top coat.
Well, it was 25, motion for the $2,100 striping. Before anybody
But
changes their mind.
again, me and Jimmy talked it over with the guy, and he's been around blacktop. It's what he does. So
Well-
he even said there's a way you can sell it before you put the top coat on to get even more time out of it. So no more than that parking lot is used on with heavy traffic, that he said this would last
Right.
a long time, didn't he, Jimmy? And look nice as well.
Well, as much as we're getting ready to use it with the fair and everything, so,
Yeah.
motion to approve the striping?
Second. Mr. Allen?
Yes.
Mr. Poe?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Mr. Manley, you just want to say,
Judge, I'm gonna bring it up at the council meeting next week, see if the city won't pay at least half of that.
Well, God bless you, Mr. Mattingly. Thank you, sir.
They use it as much or more in the county, and I mean, I'm gonna see what I can do at the council meeting.
okay, we appreciate that.
Thank you, Larry.
Like I said, I looked at that out there too, and a lot of base coats, when you put them down, are real porous, and then you put a top coat that's a lot slicker, but that's got a slick finish for a base coat. Because like I said, a lot of times you just don't want moisture and stuff to set on them, but
No weight on it.
there's no weight, there's nothing else, so I think it'll hold up just like it is.
Sounds good.
Item B is consider approval of continuation of new address signs for newly addressed structures. They're about out of green signs. That's something that we've kind of continued on, and most of them that we're doing now are new addresses. So it's an opportunity to find out where they're at when they do that, and it comes out of LGA funds. They're asking for about $1,600 to buy 100 signs and enough numbers to do that, and I think it's been a great program.
Second, I do too.
Mr.
I know it's gotta be for you all, Robbie, and sheriffs and everybody.
It helps me.
Yes. That's always makes it a lot easier for us to find houses and things when we're looking. And then you go into other counties and it's a nightmare.
You can't see nothing,
You
yeah.
can't find houses. So,
The next item is consider approval. Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
The next item is consider approval of lease agreement with DTA Tires. Lisa has drawn this lease agreement up, and Mr. Peavy has okayed it, and
Motion, I reviewed it. Everything's good, so motion to, it's 1-year renewable agreement upon our term, so motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
yes.
Unanimous?
the next item is to go into executive session per KRS 61-810 1C.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Mr. Vogel?
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Yes, whatever.
Happened tonight.
Yes.
We got a motion.
Mr. Elder? Mr. Vogel? Mr. Bishop? Unanimous?
Anybody got anything else?
No, sir. I don't.
You got to pay the bills?
Motion to pay the bills with additions? Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Bishop?
Yes.
Unanimous?
Anything else?
That's it. Motion to adjourn. Y'all have a nice weekend.
Thank you, John. You too.